Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, time keeps on slipping into the future as we usher in a new year by watching Sebastian playing as the Malians in yellow take on Hera playing as the Franks in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Gobble gobble. Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today? Now, the Malians, technically classified as an infantry civilization, but man, oh man, are they so much more. To start with, sure, the units produced in the Malian barracks do get extra pierce armor for free, starting in Feudal Age all the way up to +3 for free in Imperial. And the Malian unique unit is the Gabeto, a quick infantry unit with a strong ranged melee attack, but terrible HP and 0 base armor of any kind. Now, beyond their infantry, this is where the Malians get pretty damn interesting. Their cavalry can actually be upgraded to get a massive +5 attack boost, which is amazing because even though Malians do not have Hussars or Paladins with this upgrade, Malian Cavaliers actually have a higher attack than Paladins, and their light cavalry and heavy camel riders are some of the strongest in the game. Now, if instead you choose to go the archer route, no, you'll have plenty of wood left over to build your army, train your army, since all Malian buildings except for farms cost 15% less wood. Now, in order to help the Malians get their military up and running as fast as possible, their gold miners drop off 10% more gold, their universities work 80% faster, and their villagers are harder to raid because the Malians can actually upgrade their town centers to fire 8 arrows when not garrisoned by anyone, and up to 18 arrows when fully garrisoned, compared to the usual 10 that a fully garrisoned town center would fire. Looks like Sebastian is pulling in his first Javelina. And let's pivot our eye to the north of the map where Hera is playing as the Franks, the OG cavalry civilization harkening back all the way to the last century in Age of Kings. Frankish Nightline units come with extra line of sight. Their stables can be upgraded to work much faster, and all of their mounted units come with 20% more HP starting in Feudal Age. Now, to support their heavy camel riders, where's this guy going? To support their heavy cavalry on the field of battle against pesky, annoying things like halberdiers, maybe even camel riders. I think my brain just went a little fast forward there. The Franks can turn to their unique unit, the Throwing Axemen, a ranged infantry. What is going on with these villagers, by the way? A ranged infantry unit, similar actually to the Malian Gabeto, whose range can actually be increased even further. Now, to help a player train as many Throwing Axemen, as many of their unique unit as possible, Frankish castles do come with the infamous discount, although it has been modified lately, 15% in the Castle Age, 25% cheaper in Imperial. And lastly, to help feed a big militaristic population, Frankish foragers do work 15% faster, and they get all mill upgrades for free. Those are the two civilizations we have before us to start the new year off. I am pretty damn excited at the prospect of some heavy cavalry, or the prospect of some unique unit one-on-one violence. I mean, the Gabeto, the Throwing Axemen, very similar units, and it would just be an absolute delight to see them taking each other on, although the Gabeto does have a lot more speed going for her than the Throwing Axemen. Although the Throwing Axemen can be trained much more in much larger quantities given the Frankish castle discount. So we'll see. I might be a little premature with the discussion of the unique unit versus unique unit. But in any event, let's take a look as both players have 17-18 villagers apiece. A good time for us to look at their bases. Hera, 1, 2, 3 forests in a bit of a dome shape to the back of his base. His forward completely exposed. That's going to be very problematic for our Frank, potentially. Primary gold, primary stone in the middle of nowhere here in the forward position as well. Also very exposed. Additional gold to the front, additional gold and stone a little bit to the back. I'm surprised that he walled the forest off here and not here along with the stone. Very interesting, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, he has seen the stone. Okay. But in any event, this is what we would call an open base. And it looks like Sebastian has already discovered where his opponent is and is beginning the loop around the base. Hera, no idea where his opponent is coming from, although has seen that the scout is coming in from the left side. So I believe he's going to explore the left side first, although maybe the scout is still technically on nearby vicinity scouting duties. It definitely looks like it. Is Hera missing something? Is he missing some geese or some herdables of any kind? Not too sure why he's continuing to explore this way, as opposed to heading straight for his opponent. Let's take a look at his opponent's base, as both players actually are heading into Feudal Age at the exact same time. Also 3 forests, but a bit better located they are. Easy to wall off here to the back, easy to wall off the flank, but the I was going to say the flank, but the forward position also pretty damn exposed to the north and to the west. Primary gold pretty close to the town center, but also exposed here. Nothing really to protect it, and it's annoyingly placed right next to a hill, which means if Hera can get this high ground, Sebastian might be in a spot of bother. Primary stone, though, nice and secure in the back for him. And then let's zoom out and see where the additional resources are. He's got a few patches of gold out front and a bit of stone off to the side. Hera's going to see both of these patches of gold, so he's going to know he's in the right vicinity, and he's going to immediately pivot left. Yeah, he's going to know that he's got to go this way, and he's going to discover his opponent very, very quickly, as he does immediately seeing the lumber camp. And look at Sebastian taking very big risks here with his scout, who already has 3 HP taken off of him. And now he has to get the hell out of here because he sees the spearman. I do apologize. I am a little bit under the weather. And so if you hear a few clicks here and there, that is me clicking off the microphone to get rid of my coughing. I figured a few little clicks is much better than your earbuds exploding with my cough. Because I do cough like a Neanderthal, and I also sneeze like a Neanderthal. And so I do not want to, want to subject any of you to that. Another interesting wall off here by Hera. I wonder why he's why he's walling off here, and again, not over here along this diagonal. That would at least give him the opportunity to jack the lumber here unimpeded, because now if there's some Malian archer units here, all of a sudden some of these villagers might be exposed. And Malian archers there are, as 2 of them are already moving out, but Hera with that scouting has seen both of them. And so he knows what to expect. What is he going to do? He's going to try to wall this off. That spearman is not going to last very long against archer units, which is why I'm assuming he's keeping his scout pretty close by. And now he's getting archers of his own. Surprised not going skirmishers. And right as I say that, I look up and see that he is in fact going skirmishers. These comically large bows that these archers have. Okay, the villager on the wrong side of the construction decides, hey, if I start building the house on the outside of the settlement, I'm probably going to get sniped. And so decides to delete the house, plops down instead a blacksmith. And let's see how this battle goes. It looks like the first kill here going to our Malian at the 13-minute mark of the game. Looks like a second kill. Nope, never mind. Hera gets a kill of his own before our Malian gets a second and a third kill as well. All of a sudden, this whoa, why did you stop? All of a sudden, this Frankish army melts. Okay, I guess he stopped because there's 12 HP on his scout. Doesn't really want to risk it. I mean, even if these guys do very, very little damage, 12 HP is not a lot. And our Malian has invested significantly into archers. Good time for us as the players disengage to take a look at their bases and see what. So what? Blacksmith archery range stable for our Malian, who has walled himself in quite nicely to the right flank, the left flank. We'll see where he goes with his house. Will he continue south? Will he continue southwest? But 31 villagers apiece, 8 army supply to 6. So far, so damn similar. Archery range blacksmith, no stable for our Frank, who now begins hoarding food at 250 to the 200 of his opponent. And Hera just needs a little bit more gold. He'll have that prerequisite ready for when he gets the food count. Although we'll see if Sebastian even gives him time. He is back. He has buffed up his numbers. 12 HP has become 6, but a fresh scout. He's training 2 more, rather 1 more to the 2 that we see here for a total of 3. And Hera just says, F that. I'm just going to wall off myself entirely. I do have half the food I need to go up to Castle Age. I do have basically the gold required. Sebastian a little bit further away. We'll see if he manages to catch it. Hera picks off the weaker scout, and that's why he shouldn't have engaged with that scout first. But, oh no, now Sebastian's going to start losing archers potentially. So both players kind of zoning each other out. The town center is going to zone out the cavalry units. The cavalry units are going to zone out the skirmishers. The skirmishers doing about as good a job as they can, to be honest. A few of them have died, but they've taken some archers and a scout with them straight to hell. And Sebastian is just making an issue of this. 199 HP on this palisade. Hera immediately a secondary wall off behind, suspecting perhaps that these structures are going to fall. Hera still needs 200 some odd food. Our Malian still needs a little bit more food. Both of them need a little bit more gold. So no one yet ready to go up to Castle Age, even though the prerequisite buildings have been built. Okay, they're kind of just like picking off units of each other, sniping at each other. 8 kills to 5 in favor of our Malian. So he's maintained his 2 or 3 kill lead throughout all of this. Hera says he needs wood, so just cancels this infrastructure here. A very interesting little nook he's created for himself. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it for Sebastian to enter into here and try to snipe some of these villagers, because if he does so, then the skirmishers are going to surround him and then have their field day with these archers. Oh, the archer HP is down about 20%, and so yeah, he's got to be super careful with these guys, these scouts as well, using the lack of ballistics in Feudal Age to just maneuver around these skirmishers, taking no damage. A minute and 50 seconds away is Hera from Castle. A minute and 25 seconds is our Malian. So he's going up about 25 seconds ahead of his opponent with 1 more villager and 5 more army count. What is Hera going to do? Stable is going up for our Frank. So let's see stable versus stable. No players with any kind of stone gathering at the moment. I don't think Hera can actually gather stone. His primary, as we saw, very exposed to the front. His secondary, he's left strangely outside of his town center. I really do wonder why he didn't wall off here and here. 3 archers versus 1 archer. Oh, look at this. Look at this maneuvering. Does manage to pick off a spearman and an archer. So his kill lead is now expanding. He's got double the kills. He's got to be careful, though. 1 wrong click with these scouts and they are donezo. More archers. Bodkin, where is that crossbow upgrade as well? And we are going Siege Workshop. Okay, forget the crossbow for now. It's just bowsaw and cavalry armor for our Frank. How many stables does he have now? 2 stables. Let's take a look at our Malian base as he expands with an extra town center here to the right. 2 archery ranges, 1 stable, and 1 barracks. Our Malian is just here to the front, taking absolutely every engagement he can. And now these crossbows are going to be out. Boom, there they go. And now these basic bitch skirmishers need to get the hell out of here. Even the knights are going to have to be careful. And look at this. Our Malian is training a mangonel to zone out the skirmishers. Okay. I mean, these archers are pretty well upgraded. +2, +1. This early on in Castle Age is pretty damn good. Hera's still 40 seconds away from Elite Skirmisher. Not too sure why he seems to be pressing the issue here against these crossbows. What's the range on them now? 7 to 5. Oh, both of them vying for the high ground. The mangonel's exposed, though. The mangonel's exposed. More crossbows from the south. And this is what I was mentioning about the Malians. Because their structures do cost 15% less wood, they can afford to just pump out archers a little bit quicker than their opponent, and the mangonel does go down. That is a sour loss, but 1. Okay, it looked like he had 2 training there for a second, but I guess he canceled that, decided to use the wood and the gold for more crossbows. He's got 21 crossbows. He's still ahead 1 villager. He's ahead 9 army count is our Malian, but now he's contending with elite skirmishers with 6 range, and the elite skirmishers are going to be contending with a mangonel. Let's see. Good attack round there, just nibbles a little bit of the HP of the knights, but there, oh man, did a single crossbow die there to the skirmishers? No. And the villager moves into repair. Our Malian is just refusing to budge. The problem for him, if I can even call it a problem, is he's not really getting much done here with these crossbows. He's not sniping villagers. It's still 0 villagers to 0 villagers killed as a knight chases a scout being chased by a jaguar. So the question is, whose micro is going to be better? Will it be Hera's avoidance micro or Sebastian's attack round micro? Random house being built here for our Malian. Might as well make use of your villager. Why the hell not? The knight continues to chase. The jaguar gives up, says, I give up. It's 2024. Maybe I'll just become a vegan jaguar. Hera decides to bust down his own wall in. Okay, another good attack round there. He'll lose the villager? But that's a lot of HP to lose on these knights. That's 200 HP, and they're moving back. Does Yellow have a university? Does he have the ability to look up, to research, to investigate ballistics? No, he does not. So these knights are going to be pretty safe as long as they maneuver properly, although one of them, 2 HP. Now, we saw yesterday a knight with 1 HP, and now we're seeing Caspa's knight with 1 HP. Now we're seeing Hera's knight with literally 2 HP. Siege Workshop garrisoning the one mangonel that was being trained. It says he's got 2. Okay, sorry. Oh my goodness. Right underneath my very nose. As long as our Malian can zone out these skirmishers, these engagements are going to go very well for him if he can keep sniping these knights. Very bad attack round there out of Sebastian as the knights close in. One dies. A second dies. And now they're on the high ground. Sebastian has to retreat now all of a sudden. This skirmisher count is not to be laughed at, although maybe he could target the weaker ones. Maybe he can do exactly what he's doing, which is going into their minimum range. Brilliant move there out of Sebastian, but ultimately does back away, which gives Hera the ability to snipe a few of these crossbows. And all of a sudden 21 it becomes 17, but there are 5 more en route. More mangonels being trained. So Sebastian tactically retreating for now. A dead monk for him. Relic count 1-0 for our Malian. Now that was a better attack round there. Unfortunately for Yellow, Hera's knights were spread out. Yeah, our Malian needs to get a lot more numbers here if he wants to protect his mangonels better. I mean, right now he doesn't have enough. I don't think to even 2-shot these knights. 3 town centers. Hera just now plopping down his second town center. So he is down 18, 19 villagers, and he loses a knight to the monk and loses a skirmisher to a monk. Our Malian getting a good amount of damage done here. Does lose the monk, though. The second one heading to the town center. Does manage to save it, as now these knights have penetrated the center of the Malian base. But there is a counter knight here. Let's see if they can get anything done. Our Malian, cool as a cucumber, just not panicking at all. Does manage to lose only 1 villager, although that might change right now. A second, a third go down, but he does lose his knight. 4th does go down. 5th goes down, and now I believe he's on the high ground. Kind of looks like he's on the high ground here. Okay, so our Malian brings the 2 converted skirmishers. Where are his crossbows, and why are they not getting involved in this fight? Hera's entire attempt here is denied, although not before he got a good number of villager kills. 6 villager kills to 1 at the moment. Total kills basically identical. And now Hera is only down 14 villagers. He's down, though, army count. Holy moly, 31-16. Who will get the high ground here? How will the mangonels handle this? Good attack rounds there and there. We've got oh my god, I was going to say Farimba camels, but we are nowhere close to Farimba camels. We have got camel riders out. No bloodlines on the camels, no ballistics for the crossbows. Our Malian choosing quantity over quality, and so far, doesn't really seem to be working for him. He does have 39 military kills to 38, but for someone who's outnumbered his opponent almost 2-1, now more than 2-1, I would have expected that kill count, the kill difference, to be a lot better, a lot bigger. He's not trying to snipe the monk. Sebastian takes the high ground. Now he tries to snipe the monk, but again, no ballistics. Finally does get bloodlines on his camels. I mean, I want to say the lack of ballistics is telling me he wants to pivot into cavalry, but he doesn't have any cavalry upgrades, and he's continuing to train crossbows. So I don't really know what our Malian wants to do. I wonder if Sebastian is just trying to react more than set the pace here to what Hera is training. Another engagement taken here in the center of Hera's forward. Oh, F you to that one skirmisher by the mangonel. 25 army count to 13. Hera is housed, not something we see very often. Immediately, 2 houses are plopped down, but a little bit too little, a little bit too late. 120 population to 89. Hera is down significantly. He's down about 33% total population. He's now down 20 villagers. Our Malian is just being allowed to expand. Now, Hera being a bit more careful with his expansions. He has, remember, we saw the wall off, and now he's finally getting stone with no fewer than 10 villagers, but Sebastian's got 10 villagers as well, and he's got 700 stone, and he's moving forward with villagers, so we know what that means. A few camels get converted by these monks. Hera, 5 monks in the forward position, takes this battle. And the villagers who thought they could probably place a castle here on the high ground have to retreat. I mean, this army out of Sebastian is pretty damn powerful compared to what our Frank is building. Now that these monks are out of action, their faith has not yet been, what's the word, replenished, restored? I feel like with faith, restored would have been is a good way to talk about it. But Hera taking 8 kill lead right now. He is down 18 villagers. He's down 3 army count now, and now we've got a castle up for our Malian, who, by the way, take a look at his resources. He's going to go up to Imperial. He sold 300 stone. Yeah, look at that. He's at 1,000 food. He just needs 100 more gold. Oh, he's selling food for that gold. Why the hell not the Malians? Remember, their gold miners drop off 10% more gold. The camels miss a perfect opportunity to get a few of these skirmishers. Oh, no. Why did he retreat? By the way, has Hera seen the castle? No, he hasn't. So Hera doesn't know that there's a castle here. More and more monks in a bit of a interesting shape. And now our Frank moves out. Where is his castle going to go? It is going here. Not a bad location for that castle. Will Yellow see it before this outpost falls? No. Okay, now he sees it with the camels. I mean, these players have just been pecking at each other, poking and prodding and slicing each other. This is like a knife fight with very small knives. They've just been slicing and dicing and trying to bloody each other. The kill counts are not that different. Hera managed to get 1 more villager. He's now ahead 9 kills in total. He's now only down 6 villagers and only down 10 army count. And Sebastian, though, spaghetti-o potentially for our Frank. Sebastian is in Imperial in a minute. Our Frank 3 minutes away. So for 2 minutes, let's see what our Malian can accomplish. He's going to have, like I mentioned, the option of Farimba to add a +5 attack to these camels, which, by the way, currently at a 6 attack. Or he can just upgrade these to heavy camels and get a nice +18 attack bonus against any kind of cavalry. Let's see what he does in 29 seconds. Skirmishers moving in here. Crossbows abscond into the town center. And now Hera's a little bit trapped here. Does manage to pick off a monk before he gets the hell out of here. With husbandry, he should be able to go out of this base with minimal damage. As good as the camels are, as fast as they are. Okay, he's getting chemistry, so I was way off. Okay, maybe not. Oh, he was missing husbandry? Oh, no wonder these camels didn't chase those knights. They were slower than the knights. So now he's going to have husbandry. He's going to have a heavy camel rider, and just now getting town watch, so his vision is going to be significantly improved. Hera suspects there's going to be raids, places down a defensive castle right next to a bunch of these bushes, so they're going to be pretty safe from any kind of attack, because as we know, murder hole's not really a thing with pro players. Hera still a minute away. So the first minute of our Malian's foray into Imperial Age has been used to upgrade his units, get conscription to train them faster, and pump out 1 Treb with 2 more en route. He himself also has a very defensive castle. Love it, right next to the stone. And by the way, our Malian now sees this defensive castle with his converted knight. That being said, Hera is poking out the eyes of our Malian all over the map. Our Malian has plopped down a serious amount of outposts everywhere. A second trebuchet comes out. I'm trying to see if there's any high ground. Maybe you should have placed the trebs here, because right now I believe they are on the low ground. Halberdier is en route for our Frank, so he wants to counter those camels as hard as possible, as 3 heavies now with their +18 attack bonus against cavalry close in on these knights. And now he will be able to chase, because now his units are faster. Hera sacrifices 1 knight to save 3, unless that was just shitty pathing. Oh, he sacrificed nothing. He's trying to convert these camels. Oh, deletes them instead. Where is this villager going? What the hell am I looking at right now? Who got the kill? Was it the villager? No, the villager didn't get to kill them. The camel got the kill. It really did look like the villager got the kill as camels penetrate more, but now they see arbalest. Now they see crossbows. Oh my god, they don't see crossbows or arbalest. They see halberdiers. My goodness. My goodness gracious. There is Farimba. Let's take a look at the camels. Let's see their attack jump from 7 plus 0. Okay. So he doesn't even have any attack upgrades on them. Not that he needs to. Watch this. 7-0 will become 7 plus 5 all of a sudden. Bombard cannons, trebuchets. Hera's in a bit of trouble. His castle has fallen. The land has been reclaimed or claimed, depending on whose villagers you think were here first, by the Malians, who now is walling himself off to the side. Malian walls, by the way, look super cool. Super cool. And Hera with 3 converted heavy camels, but no Farimba on them. Let's see what he can do here. I love the addition of hand cannoneers to zone out these halberdiers, but the skirmishers will be pretty problematic. It looks like our Malian is raiding to the back. Now that these camels attack on a 12, their raiding is going to be pretty damn good. Town center, high ground do help out our Malian here, as all 3 camels bite the dust for Hera. I don't think they really accomplished that much. And now Hera has clogged up the works. Our Frank has plopped down no fewer than 9 barracks here. 2 of them have already fallen. A third, oh no, Treb, don't go after this one. Send a camel. Okay, he's going after the mining camp. He sees a town center. No, don't go after this one. No, it's a waste of Treb fire. Looks like our Malian is still inside the Frankish base. Our Frank is 20 seconds away from Paladin. Okay, so we're not seeing unique unit versus unique unit, which is a shame. But you know what's not a shame? Farimba heavy camels. Oh, finally got forging on them. Versus Paladins for the Franks. 192 HP of absolute wanton destruction and chaos as the Trebs continue to shell away at the barracks. Our Frank might be in a little bit of trouble. He's only got 400 wood, so he can't really replenish these structures very well. Perfect positioning out of our Malian on the high ground with the hand cannoneers. The halberdiers engage here to the left, which leaves the camels to engage with the Paladins on the right. But Frankish tankiness is winning the day. And the Frank just overwhelms the Malian army. Holy shit. That was just an absolute rout. Even though this Frankish Paladin did not even have iron casting, which it just now gets. So it attacks on a 16. Oh no. Villagers are being killed here, but our Malian has pushed back this blue tide of Frankish aggression. I'm going to zoom out because we've got a Paladin attacking a Treb. We've got cavalry and a few halberdiers attacking villagers. And in the center, a push from our Malian, who is now starting to mix in light cavalry. Now, remember, I mentioned how their light cavalry, look at that, fully upgraded now at a 14 attack. Light cavalry that attack on the base of a Paladin, which is a 14 attack. Devotion finally being researched for our Malian after losing how many units to conversions. But look at that. Both players are at 200 population. I need to cough, so I'm going to click the mic, and I'll be back in a second. The Malian castle is under attack. 2 Frankish bombards. Where the hell did you come from? Oh my goodness, Mr. Yo style relic tiefing here. Looks like a few yellow dots. These are outposts. What are you? Light cavalry units. They are going to die to these halberdiers, but not before this one gets 6 kills. And he's gonna get a lot more. These halberdiers are not responding at all. Keep an eye on that guy. What is our Malian building? I mean, I am looking at a lot of different units here. We've got 50 camels on the way, hand cannoneers, crossbows, elite skirmishers, light cavalry, monks, 2 knights as well. Okay, I guess. Our Frank also mixing it up with some bombards, a single throwing axeman. Where are you? Okay, you are guarding the home front. 5 monks, 6 skirmishers, 27 paladins, and 47 halberdiers. Now, I don't know necessarily if the halberdiers are a good idea here as the battle is joined here. The halberdiers nowhere to be found. Our Malian managed to pick off a few Frankish cavalry units. No, he's engaging into halberdiers. So what started off as a fantastic fight there for our Malian has devolved into another absolute rout. Oh no, where are his archer units? Are they inside the castle? No, there's a camel in there. And for a second time, our Malians, or maybe not a second time, his archers and crossbows were pushed back at the 20-minute mark of the game. For a fourth time, our Malian is just pushed back, unable to get any kind of footing here, even though he's got a castle up, even though he's got 420 stone to repair it. So he can repair it all the live long day, but he might need a few more villagers, and in they come en masse. How many are there? 16 villagers. And our Frank is back. He is not giving our Malian a minute to breathe. These bombard cannons need to be got. This treb needs to be got. Our Malian yet again engaging into halberdiers. Looks like his attack of Hera's rear end is stopped entirely, and he is pushed back again. But look at this, 67 villagers on food, 800 food. He has got 16 stables in the forward position. Now he's building archery ranges. I'm assuming for hand cannoneers? Oh, no, we're going elite skirmishers. Never mind that. And yet again, as we saw in the very beginning of the game when Mangonel's knights, skirmishers, Tigui is being researched as well, have come out, it becomes a matter of zoning out. Will the halberdiers for our Frank zone out the camels for our Malian? Will the elite skirmishers zone out the halberdiers? It looks like a big battle here. Hera taking a little bit of damage. How many converted camels does he still have left? Just the one? And now our Frank pushes in. I mean, what the hell do you do if your opponent raids with a 192 HP paladin? I guess Tigui is what you do. Right now, this town center fires 8 arrows when not garrisoned, as we can see. How freaking cool is that? But he's not garrisoning any more villagers. Oh my goodness. Wait a second. Wait a second. The halberdiers are nowhere to be found. All of a sudden, this Frankish army, except for a few, what is it, 7 or 8 halberdiers? Oh, okay, never mind. They poke in from the right. I thought our Malian was going to use that opportunity to get these paladins, and he is actually doing exactly that. Let's zoom out a little bit because I don't want to miss the action here to the north as the bombards continue to destroy infrastructure. The camels are wiping out the paladins, but 22 paladins left, 24 camels. Both players with their light cavalry units trying to get what they can done. It looks like our Frank has stopped for the moment. He is supply capped at 200. Our Malian struggling to hit 180. Monks just absolutely tearing everything apart, but in closes the light cavalry. What an absolute mess. The halberdiers save the day. The monks survive, except for I think one? I think one monk did ultimately end up biting the dust there. Hera is still at 200 population. Our Malian still at 180. Although, never mind, the yellow highlight tells me that he is now supply capped because he is training more and more light cavalry. Are we about to witness a big cataclysmic final battle between these two players? They, like I said, these are two bar fighters who have been slicing into each other with their pocket knives for their shivs for the last little while. And this is why the skirmishers were trained. This is fantastic. Hey, leave your camels out of this. Leave your camels out of this. But now it seems like the players have gotten put away their little knives. They've gotten their Crocodile Dundee. I forget which Crocodile Dundee it was when he's in LA and somebody tries to... One second before I jump into that. It looks like these Malian camels, were they here to surprise Hera? But why did they pop out in the south of the castle? Why not to the north of the castle? And all of a sudden the halberdiers get surrounded. There's that famous scene in Crocodile Dundee where he... visits Los Angeles and some guy tries to rob him when he's out with his girlfriend, and he whips out this tiny little shiv, and the girlfriend goes, oh, give him your wallet, he's got a knife. And then Crocodile Dundee goes, that's not a knife. Here's a knife. This is a knife. And he whips out this big freaking outback Australian Rambo blade. Castle has fallen. I'm not too sure what our Malian can do here. He is throwing trash at a Frankish paladin, and his army count is 52, but 30 of it is skirmishers and 12 of it is light cavalry. And bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Bye-bye Sebastian's army here. Wow. That was absolutely epic. That was a fantastic, fantastic game to start the new year on. Look at the kill count. After an hour of playing, the kills are literally 8 apart. 6 villager kills, 2 military kills apart. Holy shit. What an absolute epic game. 420 for all you potheads killed by the Franks. 412 for the Malians. Let's take a look at the number. I mean, again, this is what I was talking about. They were sniping at each other from minute 1. Whether it was again, I said arbalest, whether it was the archers meeting the basic skirmishers, whether it was the crossbows and the mangonel meeting the elite skirmishers and the knights, or whether it was the camel rider versus the knight versus the paladin. I think we stayed on cavalier for about a hot second. 135 camels, 233. So this zones this out very, very well. PKPM not bad at all for our Malian right towards the end of the game. Hera in the middle of the game with his usual 2 to 300. Economy, I can't see it being too different. Yeah, about 10% different. Our Malian with 4 relics. In addition to the gold drop off, I expect, oh wow, look at that. I expected the gold difference to be a lot better, but look, all 4 resources going to our Malian. 2 extra castles worth of stone, a tiny bit more food, a little bit more food, or rather a tiny bit more wood, excuse me, a little bit more food and a little bit more gold. Now, what do we think the conversions are for the Frank? 20 something? 27 out of 371 is what? 6% or so? If my off the cuff math is maybe a little bit more, maybe 6 or 7%. Wow, that is not bad at all. So a lot of units being lost here. Only 2% of the Frankish army got converted by our Malian. I'm surprised it's even 6. I don't even remember seeing his monks being very active, aside from we saw that one monk tiefing the relic that was here, Mr. Yo style. I'm surprised Hera just left these outposts up, by the way. I guess it doesn't really hurt that your opponent knows there's a farming community here to raid, but I don't know. This is amazing. A wall off by our Malian. What an absolute brawler of a game between these two players. Like I said, literally from minute, what was it, 13 or 14 or 12? They have just been at each other's throat, giving us a fantastic lesson into how Age of Empires can look if the players just want to absolutely beat the shit out of each other, and beat the shit out of each other. They did altogether over 800 kills, but ultimately, I think a little bit of bad positioning out of Sebastian exposes camels way too much to these halberdiers, and he unfortunately was not able to stop the halberdiers, which tanked up as much damage as possible, giving these paladins 42 kills on 13 paladins is more than 3 kills per paladin, giving these paladins an opportunity to just absolutely go ham. And if you let your opponent get to a fully upgraded Frankish paladin, you are in big trouble for Rimba or not. And wow, what a fun first game to start the year off with those Frankish paladins. And as importantly, to be honest, the Frankish halberdier, it is our Frank Hera who is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.